All right, you're looking on part 2 of the course. Make sure you watch the previous video. Don't jump on this randomly. In this one, we're sort of understanding how you can use keyboard shortcuts really efficiently with Label Genie, and also how you can use zero shot predictions quite efficiently. For that, I'll show you the fish dataset we've been working with from the previous video. Again, credited in the video description. So what I'd like to do is create a new annotation task. Remember, this is how you go about in Label Genie. You create different annotation tasks. You annotate your data set yourself, and then you can sort of also do a second pass, or you can have a reviewer review your annotations. Let's load in the fish data set. And don't ask me how I remember the name of it. And what I'd like to do is maybe do instance segmentation in this one. So let's say I'm trying to identify fish. I'm just trying to segment fish from the image. I'm helping AI identify fishes in this task. Quite simple task. So let's continue to annotation. Now you'll see in the top right corner, it's already working on zero shot predictions. There's two ways you can do this. I can draw a box myself and do box to polygon, and you can see that works really well, right? If I look closely, it identifies and sort of makes the segmentation mask really close to the borders of the image. Or if I refresh this, you'll see it would have auto done it by itself as well at this point. So if I press K to jump to the next one, you can see that it's auto drawn the mask itself. Although it did, you can see here, sort of messed up the edge a little. Let's wait for this one, see how that goes. But you'll see the goal here is the zero shot predictions that come out of Label Genie are also really good. This model is based on the segment anything model. And you can read more about these in the documentation. For different tasks, we use different openly licensed models to help you with the zero shot predictions. And anytime you're doing this, please remember. And anytime you're doing this, please remember to enable this setting of zero shot predictions. It comes on by default, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, I've again obviously auto ran this task myself earlier. So if I jump to that and go to the annotation tab, you can see here I can review the zero shot annotation. So the goal is I can just have Label Genie do first pass, and then I can comb through every example. So if I press U, it will take me to the next example. And what I'm doing here is I'm approving these examples as I move on to the next one. So if I do that again, it looks right enough to me. Let's keep going. And you'll notice as you do this yourself in the exercise, once you do this with the keyboard, it can help you get into the flow state quite fast. And you can sort of sift through your dataset quite efficiently. So I can keep approving these examples and keep moving on further. And if I go to the review tab, I can maybe do one more pass again for these 11 approved samples. Or if I'm happy with them, I can export just the approved samples as a zip file, or I can download the zero shot predictions, maybe get my first model trained on these out of the box as well. I would suggest even using the zero shot predictions, you'll see it does a really, really good job. So we looked at an image example first. Let's take a look at what we can do with text datasets. So I'll create a new annotation task, and this time we'll work with the Lex Fridman podcast. So let's say, can we do summarization, please? And I'll select the text column. Let's use the default model. This obviously is not a LLM, at least as far as I understand. And we'll continue to the annotation task. So you can see this looks like an interview with Max Tegmark, who's a professor at MIT, a physicist who spent a lot of time understanding cosmos. So let's see the summary that comes out of this. Now, if you read through this, you should have paused the video and read through it. You might observe that this is not the best summary. It might also look like it's just picked up the first few words from this paragraph, right? Let's look at the next one after this. It still looks like it's just picking a few words from the intro of the podcast itself, like, right? Let's maybe try one more. So my notice that this is an okay summary, but it's not as good as a LLM would have written. And I would say the mistake here is using a simple model for summarizing a very lengthy conversation. So in the next video, let's take a look at how you can use large language models to also augment and prepare your datasets.